have some people here waiting, and that's good to see. It's a nice, quiet Saturday afternoon with nothing really going on, so I thought, what the heck, maybe we can do this as like a tradition. Anyway, let's see. So, the direct is reporting that Mandalorian season 3 is going to come out, be dropped onto the streaming service, and next spring. So what does that mean? What's going on here? I mean, it to me, it just looks like there's a lot of flack being flown around. That's really, it's really interesting. It's really, and it makes you kind of think what's really going on, because I wouldn't doubt that maybe some things were filmed while they were filming Mando. It wouldn't surprise me at all. And I honestly think because they were filming, I think, part of Mando, even when they were filming season 2 from Mandalorian, or Boba Fett, when they were filming season 2 of Mando, it wouldn't surprise me. All right, so it's very interesting. There's a lot of really weird stuff going on. It just kind of lends to the idea that everything's a little bit in flux right now at Lucasfilm, which would be due to the I got stung by something here, which would be due to the restructuring. Who knows? All I know is that it's a very interesting story. We should pay attention. They haven't said they completely canceled Rangers of the New Republic, and I'm still not convinced that that show was only going to be Gina's. I honestly think that Favreau had something different for her in mind. She probably was going to be in it, but again, I'm not sure. People just assume a lot of things, and it's really interesting to me when I think about all of these moving parts. It's really, God, it's been absolutely quiet. It's dead. I mean, we could talk about anything right now, like whatever. So anyway, so that's going on. I guess Dave Filoni is getting his own 6-inch Hasbro Black Series figure now. And when you watched season 1 of Mandalorian and you saw that big, heavy set, heavy gunner Mando, that was Jon Favreau. Okay. That was Jon Favreau. Okay. So when you get the heavy set Mandalorian, because they do have him as a Black Series character. I don't do 3.5. I do the 6-inch. I don't like the 3.35. I mean, the moment I saw the 6-inch, I thought there's at least enough area for them to actually really work on a likeness. And you kind of look at the 6-inch, and you look at some of the Lukes, and it looks right, and some of them are like, and some of the Hans look great, and some of them are like, but at least it's close. I mean, it's close. That to me means a lot. The Solo Empire Strikes Back is really, really good. That's a really good figure. I've still got to put Aura Singh on. I'm gonna pre-order her somewhere, probably GameStop. But yeah, and the new Lando coming out that I ordered, Return of the Jedi Lando, is spectacular. I think it's one of their best figures, period. Okay. And I still got to get myself an Emperor Palpatine. I wish I'd come out with yet another figure so I could order it, because the one on his throne, if you go on eBay, you're going to spend $200. I'm not doing that for a Palpatine. You can find a loose figure with his walking stick and the blue lightning with him for 60. It's like, come on. Come on. You know, they didn't, but they don't, what they do is they make just enough so then there's a demand. Okay, then the collectors can go and, gouge people. They buy like 15 of them and then, make a killing on the ones they're selling, and they make all their money back plus extra. I mean, I don't blame them. I would do the same thing if I had that money, and that's how I ran my life. But I just wanted Palpatine for my collection. But yeah, it's very interesting. I really do want, I guess, that Dave Filoni. I mean, I do have a Mando card series, Cara Dune. I got her for $90. I'm like, you know, it's just really interesting to me, the prices now. So anyway, but yeah, Dave Filoni's getting a 6-inch Black Series figure of himself as that pilot. We need an official one of George. That's what we need. And he can be standing over everything going, that would be really kind of funny. You get one of Favreau and Filoni going, that would be really funny. But anyway, so yeah, I think they're probably gonna start, since they ended filming for Mando like almost a month ago now, 2 weeks ago, I'll say. I would say that they're gonna start filming Mando probably maybe sooner than later. Again, Disney needs original stuff for their streaming service. Hence, let's step up the pace. Those and I know the scripts are done for Mando, and they just got to keep going. They just got to keep going. And I know Andor is supposed to be done filming this month, but apparently, according to my sources, 2 people got sick with the beer flu, the beer bug, the coof, and everyone is in quarantine for 2 weeks. It's you're never gonna get over it unless you get over it, guys. Okay. Anyway, I would think that Britain would roll out a vaccination thing if they're really. I mean, and I don't believe in it. A vaccination should be your choice and only your choice. But the fact that it seems there are people in the segments of society that want to force people to do it. Now we got that idiot Biden threatening that people show up at your house to make sure you got your vaccine. How long do you think that'll last? Not very long. People say, Nunya, get the hell out of here, which is the correct thing to say. Anyway, what else to do? Nothing really. I'm just, hanging out, thinking about that idiot, what is canon, and why should casual fans be worried about canon? Here's another thing that Matt Martin forgot. If the hardcore fans aren't happy with it, and tell their friends who are casual fans, think the casual fans are going to want to rate it or watch it? Word of mouth is your biggest ally or your biggest enemy when it comes to making films and books. And if someone that you trust says, that movie sucked, XYZ, they didn't do this, and this, they weren't consistent, you're probably not going to go see it. You may wait for it to show up on Showtime or HBO or on demand and then rent it for like $4. I mean, so that's another problem when he says that. Canon doesn't matter to casual fans. Not the casual, it does in so many ways. It matters to everybody. I mean, you can't be a fan of a franchise, even a casual fan of a franchise, and have Most people, when they walk into a movie, like, you think about it, know, know at least some of the things are who's who if it's a franchise. They know if it's Superman 2, they know Superman. They probably saw Superman 1, even if they're not major league fans, even if they're casuals, they will know at least what who Superman is and what his character should be like. And let's say like or Spider-Man or Aragorn. I mean, think about any of the characters, and if they're inconsistent or if the story's inconsistent with what was previous in the franchise, people aren't going to be happy. It's like it's not going to make any sense. And it should tell people, filmmakers, that when people walk out of a movie like The Force Awakens and they're not saying anything, there's no like there was after Star Wars came out, that should probably scare the shit out of you. When TLJ was over, you could have heard crickets. It was dead silent. No one said a word. It was like watching a bunch of people leave a car accident. They were all in shock. Same thing with TFA. And then, yet, people tried to excuse it. You can't excuse garbage, and TFA was garbage, okay? And trust, I mean, when a movie barely squeaks over $1 billion, a movie like this, it's the last in a franchise. It has to, that should really scare everybody. And I think it did scare Disney. I think it did scare Bob Chapek. I think it did scare Bob Iger. I think the Bobs and the money guys realized that the decisions being made for the Star Wars franchise were bad. Okay. And again, I'm gonna take you back to that one Reddit leak. The idea that Kennedy feels like she can throw Alan Horn under the bus, and when you read it, Alan Horn was the only one who gave a damn. He was the only one who said, yeah, but we can't do that because this, and this. Again, everything that those movies were, she got everything she wanted. And yet, they failed. And so what does she do? She takes all the stuff that Alan Horn said, which was opposite of what was in the movies, and blames him for it. All right, and don't tell me that wasn't her, having that posted out there. Don't tell me that. I mean, look, I've been around the block too many times. All right, I've been around the block too many times. All right, I really, really have, and I'm sick of it. Okay, I'm sick of people. I'm sick of the black pills. All right. Let's talk about Black Widow. I have not seen that movie. As you all know, am not a Marvel fan. I am not spending $30, nor am I going to go and get my butt up and go to the movie theater. I don't really see what the profit is for me. But there's a huge debate going on if the movie was good or not. And it's really interesting. Coach, I think it was Coach, and Cameron Pasha both liked it. I mean, but other people didn't. And there's choo. And it's like, look, if you can go to a movie and enjoy it and not be, and not, yeah, I agree, Maze, and not be if you can go to a movie and enjoy it and not be completely taken out by the politics, aka Canto Bite and Rose Tico and her Maoist doctrinal lecture, you should probably say that was a win. You got to remember, this movie was made a long time ago. A long time ago. Okay. So it doesn't have the same impact as it would have or should have. There's a lot of upset over the gender swapped Taskmaster. Again, I have no fucking idea what I'm talking about. But if you're thinking about the story, it might actually work. Okay. But people just are upset. And it's again, If you didn't like it, you didn't like it. If you had your reasons, you had your reasons, and I respect that. But there is a contingent of fans who look for something to be pissed off about. Okay, they really, really do, and you know, it does. All right, we do Star Wars here, so if it's Mando, they're gonna scream about that. If it's the Bad Batch, they're gonna scream about that. Nothing is. They won't like anything because they want to see Disney burn. They'll never get their wish because Disney's never gonna go down. It's just not. It's not. Okay, reality, folks. Let it set in. Let it take over your minds and calm. Just calm. Okay, and accept the fact that it's not going anywhere. But you know, it's Disney's still in trouble. They're still not making any money. They still need to make money. And if they're not making any money on Star Wars, but there are parts of it that people like, Mandalorian, Bad Batch, etc., la la la. Hey, why not give Disney the chance? Okay, why not tell them we like this, we didn't like that. We like this, we didn't like that. This was great, this stunk. This was awesome, this makes no sense. This character's fantastic, this character sucks. Okay, that's how they find out what the fans want, and instead hating everything. But again, I really honestly think that there's a contingent of fans out there that want to see the world burn. And I'm not talking about the people that are complaining about stuff they saw in Black Widow. I'm not. I'm talking about the people who won't watch The Mandalorian because it's Disney. Kathleen Kennedy, she's still listed. And she's not making any decisions. Yes, she is. How do you know? Because, the idea of figurehead running out doesn't make any sense to them because they're so, well, first off, they're downright goddamn stupid. Okay, they're just stupid, and I'm going to say that right now. Second, and they are. I don't care. They are fucking stupid. Okay. Second of all, they're too angry. I was there once. I don't like being that way all the time, 24/7. I don't. You got to figure out if you honestly cared about what you say you cared about, then you'd have to sit there and think, how can they get out of this mess? And yes, despite what people are saying, they know they're in a bad mess. Okay? How? Well, think about it. Think about it. All right? Just, think about it. Listen to what the fans want. Give the fans what they want. Retcon and put the garbage off to the side. Get rid of the people who caused the problems in the first place. That's how you do it, okay? But if the fans still aren't happy, what are they going to do? Just shut it all down? Which I think people want because they don't really care. Okay, they don't really care. They don't want to be happy. And there's that contingent of fans out there who are worried they won't make any money off their YouTube channels if they get what they want, okay, or if it starts being good, because people will stop coming to hear angry rants, and I just first off, I get bored with it. I really, really do. I get bored with it. I don't mind movie reviews. I don't mind discussions. I mind constant screaming, ranting, and raving, and name calling, and that no filter bullshit. Okay, because what does it do? What does that accomplish? What does that add to the conversation? And there are channels out there who are part of a bigger community. That's all they do. That is all they do. That's boring. I don't want that. No one wants that. So you know, it's time for people to reevaluate. The world, I think, despite last year's election and all the rest of the stuff, is changing for the better, I think. Now, it doesn't look good right now, but we've got a congressional election coming up. We've got lots of other things going on, and we've got what I think is movement in the culture. We've got governors signing laws banning the the teaching of critical race theory all over the place. I think now over 30 some odd governors have done that, signed legislation saying this can't be taught here. And that's fantastic. Okay. So you've got to look at it and go, where can I make a difference? Where can I put my foot down and say, this is my battle right here. My battle is in the culture, and it's specifically Star Wars. Okay. You know, oh yeah, see, man, but you got to understand is that there are people out there that aren't looking to review a movie, whether they like it or not, and picking the things they liked and picking the things they didn't like. There are people out there who just want to bitch about everything, and they want everything to be bad. But again, there's money involved. There's reputations, I think. There's a lack of filter. You know what I'm saying? There's all that stuff going on, and we know who they are. I mean, I know who they are. You know who I'm talking about. I know who I'm talking about. And what does it add to the conversation? And then, my favorite thing is, after 3 or 4 years of this continuous garbage with Pablo Hidalgo, Matt Martin, Star Wars Explained, and Hello Greedo, yada yada yada, Jason Ward, a lot of people now disavow the fact that they were part of the fandom menace when they were the ones that were in the thick of it and did it and chanted away with it. I have a long memory, okay? So stop it. And another thing, if the people in our community are getting smeared and libeled and slandered and defamed because the opponents, the enemy, and they are the enemy, all right? There is no gatekeeper like Molly Damon, okay? Absolutely none. The picture of her with her husband, and her husband's dressed in the slave Leia outfit. And then there's another one of all the guys dressed like that. And it's like, but if you say anything that's sick, men shouldn't do that. That's really not good Star Wars. She will jump down your throat. That is gatekeeping. Steele Saunders is gatekeeper. Jason Ward defines it. We let them drive the narrative. They went and got their little buddies at, Deadspin and Deadline Hollywood and Variety and all the rest of shit. Attack the fans. Attack us. And that's wrong. But to sit there and disavow that you were part of it, bullshit. Bullshit. Bull fucking shit. Okay? All right? That is bullshit. You either are and you were and you are, or you never were. Okay? And that's another thing that bugs me. Okay? I admit it, I am a part of the fandom menace. And the reason is this. We needed a group of people so we could all get together and form some sort of coalition against the gatekeepers who were trying to chase away the old school Star Wars fans so they could get their disgusting filth up there. And they failed. They failed because they weren't going to make any money. And it's really interesting to me, but I really honestly think with this Black Widow stuff that a lot of honesty is going to appear. You know, I really, really do. And a lot. Well, see, man, everything should. And, if you're any sort of a creative person, you should be able to do your own stuff. But again, this is Frankfurt School style attack the culture by destroying it, deconstructing the heroes, destroying the heroes, erasing everything that was there and replacing it. It says Star Wars, but it's not. Okay, that's Maoism. That's Frankfurt School doctrine right there. And that's exactly what they tried to do, and it failed. And the reason why is because enough of us who were born in the late 60s, 70s, and 80s knew what they were doing and didn't like it. Okay? I'm sorry. That was uncreative propaganda. Okay? Why are you doing this in this franchise? Because they needed that big benchmark, cornerstone piece of cultural iconography to fuck with the kids, which is what they want to do. Which is why Pablo would always say, well, it's for the kids. You know perfectly well when George Lucas said it's for kids and adults who want to enjoy it. You know perfectly well that he was quoting him out of context. Just like the other day when that guy was quoting him out of context about the EU. I mean, the EU was there for them to eventually use as cornerstones for other stories. Oh yeah, see man, I saw that. Now they're getting their asses kicked. You wonder why if we had kids, I'd be homeschooling. There you go, right there. I've got somebody in my family who is a teacher. I wouldn't let her teach. My dog had to take a dump. I wouldn't. No. No, no, no. And the reason is this. Back in the 90s, I remember I was at her house. They were having like a family gathering. And she was having a quiet discussion with my other sister. All right, I'll see you there. Having a quiet discussion with my other sister. Okay, fine. Okay. And they were talking about materials to teach homosexuality to fourth graders. Fourth graders. How old is that? Like 11 years old? Was that? You're in third grade, you're what? All right, third grade was, you're 9. Fourth grade, you're 10. Yeah, about 10 or 11 years old. No. Yeah, no, that would be 5th grade. I mean, I don't know, you're about what, 10 or 11 years old? Or 9 years old, maybe. And it literally stunned me. And I kind of asked the question, why are you doing this? Now, I was still in college. And when you're from a big family and you're the very, very much younger child, people tend to look down their nose at you, even if you're beyond smarter than they are about things. And I asked, why can't kids just be kids? And they both jumped down my throat. I'm like, excuse me, they're little kids. They should be out playing with Barbies and G.I. Joes and, playing in sprinklers and riding their bicycles and, playing ding dong ditch and just playing outside, looking for frogs along the river and stuff like that. It started then, all right? You get kids interested in all kinds of things they shouldn't be interested in. Look at Claudia Gray. She writes young adult novels, for teenagers. And the cornerstone of every one of her fucking novels is fucking bizarre disgusting, degenerate sexuality. Okay? Why? Go go and sit in a creative writing class right now in a college, and you will be disgusted by what people are doing. Now, when I went to creative writing in college, we basically wrote the stories we wanted to write, and there was none of that shit. None of it. But here you go. Now we got, you know, young adult, teenage novels, Star Wars, novels with characters that are pansexual. Like what? Does Haldo want to fuck a pan? Do I have to tell her to stay away from my chef's knives? I mean, stay away from my fucking dog? I mean, think about that. That's what that means. There's nothing remarkable about that. Yet they do it. They do it to undermine society. And they know it. They do it to undermine traditional families. Look what they did to Han and Leia. How dare there be a traditional man and woman family with kids? How dare they do that? Even though the head of Lucasfilm at the time, Kathleen Kennedy, has been long time married to Frank Marshall, and they have 2 daughters. These are for us, not for you. We're going to corrupt your kids. Oh, not the fact that their kids aren't corrupt. You're right, and that's the problem. This is why Jon Favreau, who if you ever watch what he makes, you never get in, you don't get into this stuff because he's into writing good stories. Okay? He's into writing stuff that we all can appreciate. All right. When I have my gay friends tell me I don't need these people to be activists for me, okay? That's a pretty big goddamn deal. All right. They tell, there's a percentage of people who are in that lifestyle who have opted to go and seek help instead of just embracing it. That's their choice. All right. The moment they say, I don't like this, I don't want to be gay anymore, and they go seek help from like a religious counselor or whatever, that is horrible. How dare you do that to this man? It's the guy's decision. All right. Milo Yiannopoulos. He's not everybody's cup of tea. And he's quit the lifestyle. He's getting help. He is out of it. Talk about the shit he gets, even from people that are like, on our side. If he's getting help and he doesn't want to, or first off, if you actually believe a person has a choice in how they live their lives, then why can't he choose to not be gay anymore? Why, can't a person who's thinking about transitioning choose not to do it? I suddenly realizes that's a really stupid thing to do. Okay. I watch way too much Joe Rogan. But there's, if you believe in choice, then in free will, and I'm going to tell you guys something, they don't. If they did, they would understand that what they're doing is wrong. Okay? There you go. All right? And I'll tell you something else. A lot of the women who are in that bisexual group were molested as kids. A lot of the women who are lesbians were molested, and they're afraid. That is built on fear. All right, that's it. They embrace misandry. They embrace hatred because they can't get over what happened to them when they were kids. I'm sorry. That's what I think. I've read too many articles and dug into too much research about individuals, and I'm like, this happened to you, so therefore the rest of us have to fucking suffer. Oh, isn't that great? Awesome. Good for you for making the world. What you want to do? Throw you a parade? Celebrate you? Maybe we should have a world whatever day, okay? Maybe that would be enough. No, what they do is they go after, they're like parasites and they know exactly what they're doing. They go after big franchises and they get themselves involved. I know they do. I know they do. But when you accuse them of that, like I got into an argument with a gay man who basically is waving the flag of victimhood Troy, very, very radical. And I let him have it. And I went off on him. I got in so much trouble with Facebook. I'm like, excuse me, I am not going to kiss a narcissist's ass. That's exactly what he was doing. I have no fucks to give. Why are you doing this to the rest of us? I don't care who you are. Oh yeah, well, actors, I mean, look at Mark Ruffalo, okay? Even Robert Downey Jr. is using his Instagram account to be an echo warrior, you know? So there you go. But anyway, but what they did was they got them, and I'll tell you, Pablo Hidalgo's been at Lucasfilm for 20 years. They embed themselves. They embed themselves like wood ticks. Which is always funny when he would post pictures of wood ticks and bitch about YouTubers. And it's like, that's ironic, considering you've had your head buried in the flesh of Star Wars for decades. And you've been sucking the fucking life out of it for decades. Okay? Who's the wood tick? We're the ones going, and now you're bitching at us. Hey, I'm not the one who said, Admiral Holdo's a really good idea. Duh. I don't know anybody here who was. Man, it's just me. You know, it's just, you know, anybody can be an activist. Okay, anybody can. But writers who go into, and again, Pablo has been there for over 20 years. Or 20 years. His words, not mine. Okay? Which one? Like the one where he's admitting he's leaving? If it's the one with Andy Gutierrez, yeah, I saw that. I saw that not too long ago. He's, you know, they get them, yeah, that one, yeah, I've seen that one, Just Nova. They get there, they bury themselves in it, and then slowly you see shit getting trashed. Howard Kurtzman did the same thing with Star Trek. You know, Kathleen Kennedy, you know what she is? She's a radical feminist who didn't give a damn about what her company that she was leading was producing, okay? As long as it looked good and as long as she got what she wanted, which was a Mary Sue, okay? And I kind of have an idea because her husband, they don't have any sons. That part of the reason why she wanted a super fucking girl in Ray was because if she got that, she's got daughters. You know, no concept of having a son. None. Okay. Women who don't have sons, and guys who don't have sons, like Kevin Smith, don't get how dangerous it is for them when they tell their girls they can do anything they want as good as a man. Okay? If you're getting into the movie business and you're a woman, you better fucking understand right now that it is a man's world, and it still is. Okay? And you better have the rhinoceros hide to get through. Right? You better be a mean, hardcore, 4D chess playing bitch. Okay? Not some, I'm going to complain because I didn't get that promotion and they gave it to the white man. because he was better at the job or he had more experience. Okay. That's where it comes down to. All right. I got turned down for jobs because of my voice on Capitol Hill. And that hurt. But you know what? Some people, they don't understand. They don't get it. You've been discriminated against. Somehow. It's not cheating. It's being, if you're a woman doing a job, and I think Sherry Lansing and Dawn Steele would agree with me, the same job that Louis B. Mayer did, you've got to be tougher than they ever were. I mean, again, I'm going to give you the example of The Devil Wears Prada. That's what Miranda was. She was tougher than every guy, including the guy that ran the publishing company. She was tougher than all of them. Because if she wasn't, they would run her over, and she knew it. So she couldn't be complacent, and she couldn't be, you know what I'm saying? Now there's a way to be a hard-ass bitch and not be like her. All right, because she was the definition of what not to do, I think, in some certain circumstances, especially when it comes to your personal life. She didn't balance at all. I mean, her kids are stuck with a nanny at a boarding school. Her husband, it gets ignored. And I don't care if you can be president of the United States as a woman. You better fucking be there for your family, okay? And, that's what she gave up. And, either you're single, yeah, if they were, if they're, back in the day, if a woman was defiant, there are probably a lot of reasons. Like, okay, now, Sex and the City is getting a sequel series, and Kim Cattrall is not coming back. And Sarah Jessica Parker shows up on Twitter, and then she shows up on in interviews saying that they really wanted her to come back, and we didn't treat her this badly. But then when you hear what Kim Cattrall said about it, they treated her. I mean, and I'm not saying they as in the company. I'm saying Sarah Jessica Parker, that dyke Cynthia Nixon, and that idiot Kristen Davis. I mean, she's retarded. She's so stupid. Treated Kim Cattrall like shit. They did. She said, I never felt like I was friends with any of them. We never were friends. And why? You watch an episode of the show that aired between 1998 and 2006. Or 2004. And you tell me, okay? You tell me why. Kim Cattrall is a much better actress than the rest of them are. She really, really kicked ass. And she was absolutely stunning in it. Sarah Jessica Parker, there are times when she looks great. Other times when she looks like, a mule. Okay. Cynthia Nixon, perpetual bitch face. Okay. Kristen Davis, pretty, but stupid. Okay. Then you had, Samantha Jones, aka Kim Cattrall. She looked like a fucking supermodel. And she was good. The last season, when they're going to a wedding, and she goes to pick Carrie up, Sarah Jessica Parker, at her house, and they're in the taxi, and she says, I got something to tell you. And they're going on, and she says, I have cancer. Just like that, boom. I want to tell you something. That was really good acting. And that was far better acting than Parker, Nixon, or Davis ever put out there. Okay. Now, Cynthia Nixon got, I think, an Emmy Award. Whatever. Who cares? They give awards to people who can't act their way out of a wet bag. But Cattrall got, I think, 2 Golden Globe Awards and a SAG. Okay. that was good stuff right there. She didn't want to make a big deal about it. When the wedding's over, they're at the place where they're having the small reception. And she basically blurts out, "I have cancer," to Kristen Davis's character. And of course, everyone's like, and then the bride, Miranda, Cynthia Nixon, comes over and asks what's going on. And that's the end of the show. Okay. It was a very powerful moment because she's scared, but the way she behaved was beyond what you could ever imagine, was beyond. And you could just see why they would hate her, why they wouldn't want her around. I mean, she's just very, matter of fact of it. I mean, it sounded to me, the way she described it, oh yeah, I mean, that scene where they're talking and she said, "I can only succeed you, sir." I mean, that was fantastic. She basically described the set of being on Sex and the City almost like it was high school. "You can't sit with us." And it's sad. It is really, really, really sad when you think about it. That grown women, they're supposed to be professional actresses, are so into each other. And that's, I'm going to tell you something. When you've got a bunch of women and they think they're friends, okay, and they're to the point where they're a clique, it was like, I can't do this. And that's exactly what it was. It was a high school clique. And she was actually more popular just by looking at the way people reacted than any of their characters, including Carrie. And I loved Carrie. I mean, I identified with her. You pick out a character in that show as a woman, single in DC, trying to make it to the world, and you pick out a character and you kind of see similarities. And Carrie was the one like me. She really was. And it's really telling, I think, for me anyway, listening to what Cottrell had to say and seeing the garbage that went on. What was going on, what she had to go through with them. I mean, they were just awful. They're supposed to be professional performers. And I don't know if they actually believed they were their characters, but I mean, I'm going to tell you this. Remember Mr. Big? Sarah Jessica Parker dated John Kennedy Jr. Loved him. She absolutely adored him. He was literally Mr. Big. And when you look at the relationship that she has with him, when he, shows up with the young 20-year-old girlfriend, fiance, then wife, the girl works for Calvin Klein in Paris. She's very, not shy, just very reserved. Her family is they're very wealthy, live in Connecticut. She's Carolyn Bessette Kennedy. They brought in the whole JFK thing with that. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. I didn't blame Carrie at the time for being pissed, but when I started kind of digging into it, I was like, really? Really? Come on, man. This, and I think a lot of it was autobiographical. I don't think anything that Kim Cattrall did was autobiographical because there's some shit that Samantha did that it was like, but she was still everybody's favorite character. I mean, she really was. And it pissed them off. They were jealous. And that's why she ain't coming back. You know, they tried to say that it was about money. She's like, I got all the money I need. It's not about money. I don't want to be in a movie or a TV show with those three anymore. She is the oldest. She's in her 60s. You know, it's time to be a grown-up adult. You know, let it go. And again, if you're an actor or an actress and you have been in a TV series, all right, and you feel it's time for you to just go, by all means, go. All right, just it's time for it to end. You know, and if it comes out that there was reasons why you decided to say I'm done, you know, which is cliquish behavior. I was treated like shit. They never really included me in anything. You know, of course they didn't. She shows up, everybody's looking at her. Who's gonna look at Cynthia fucking Nixon with that perpetual bitch face on, you know? And Sarah Jessica Parker, if she's not wearing 85 pounds of makeup and doesn't have her skin pulled back. Oh yeah, I mean, you know, so yeah, I mean, there are women out there who are actresses who get it. I think Glenn Close gets it. I think Meryl Streep gets it. Kim Cattrall gets it. Kirstie Alley gets it. There are people out there who are so wrapped up in being popular, like they were in high school, Sarah Jessica Parker, that they don't get it. They just don't. And adulthood for them is something that they're of the age. She's in her 50s. You know, it sounded like grow up and be a big girl. Nope. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. I am going to be a clicky bitch. I'm going to worry about how many people love me. And I'm going to go on from there. What a life. You know, I mean, but anyway, well, I don't know why we ended up on this tangent, but whatever. So, going back to the original subject, I think Mando 3 is filming and will be filming very shortly. If changing the release date from fall to spring is any indication, and that is a rumor. Okay. We know of at least 4 features in England for Star Wars, Lucasfilm, for streaming, all TV, are starting within the next, one starting within the next few months. They're already getting pre-production going. No word on what it is. And then there are 3 more next year. Okay. They need original stuff for streaming. And I'm going to add this because Vader fan for life said this on Insta. He posted a picture of the Acolyte with its stupid art, and then he showed another picture of Lando and Rogue Squadron and said basically he didn't feel like they were going to film those as that they were ever going to get really the okay, because it looks like to me that it's only Favreau stuff that they're looking at now. And I honestly think that Andor right now is part of that. I don't know why. I really, really don't. But I do. Because look, Dave Filoni, he's everywhere. In fact, in Star Wars Visions, if you look at who did the storyboards, Dave Filoni is one of the people. No Kathleen Kennedy. Okay, I think these are going to be very much standalone little featurettes that these Japanese animators put together, and I think they might be pretty good. So I'm kind of looking forward to it. All right. Anyway, I got to get ready for church. I got to let the hound dog out again. And I got to put my church clothes on and get ready to go. So anyway, I will see you guys around the galaxy. I was bored, so I thought, what the hell, I'll talk to you guys this afternoon. And Cameron Pasha is going to be on EBN. So tonight, I think he's guest hosting. So if that's the case, hey, get on over there about 8:30 EST because it's going to be really fun. See you guys around the galaxy.